Hi, everybody. I'm Carrie Rowan, your host of What's Your Story? And I'm so excited to be here with you today. And as you know, what we do is each week on Wednesdays at 1, I take a little morsel, a gem from my book, a little nugget of wisdom, if you will. And usually what I do is kind of open the book up to a page and see what it is that you need to hear about today. So my book, I want to tell you really quickly, my book is Tell a New Story, 5 simple steps to release your negative stories and bring more joy to your life. Joy, joy, joy. We all want more joy. That's what we're here for, to live with joy. That's the secret. So I talk all about that in my book. If you don't have a copy of my book, which by the way, I released this in July, super exciting. And in 3 days, it became an international bestseller. So get your copy on Amazon if you don't already have one. If you do have one and you read it, get back on Amazon and write me a review, please. It helps so much. As new authors, it helps us so much in that sea of all these other authors. So we're trying to all get heard. So hearing from you and your input and perspective on the book is so valuable to other people that visit Amazon. So thank you so much for doing that. And lastly, before we delve into what that little gem is for today, I want to let you know I'm super excited about my class. I'm launching another round of class. It's a 5-week class. It starts next Wednesday, April 7th at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It'll run for 5 weeks. It really takes the 5 steps in the book and goes even deeper, because what we get to do that's so awesome with a live class is I get to hear your stories and apply the steps to your stories directly. We get to do it together. It's collaborative. It's connection. You're in the class with these other ladies in a live Facebook all during the week if you have any questions. But then on the live Zoom weekly, you get to interact, you do breakouts, you really dig into your own stories. And I love it because I love helping people like you with your stories. The stories that you might not even know are the ones that are holding you back. So if you want to find out more, jump on my website at carrierowan.com and click on the little tab that says course, and it'll take you through each of the 5 weeks, what we cover in all the 5 weeks, what you can expect, what comes with the class. It's super exciting. Oh, and you can also read reviews on my class that I launched in January, what other ladies said about attending the class. So don't just take my word for it. You can hear what they have to say. Anyways, that is that. And I'd love to talk about today, when I opened my book, I said, what does everybody need to hear today? And I open up to page 150. And this is cool because it's step 4 in my book on reframing your stories. And it's called chapter 10, When Belief Betrays You, which is interesting. When belief betrays you, and I open up to the particular page that said, how to look with your mouth. What does it mean when beliefs betray us? I thought belief was a good thing. I thought believing in something was positive. Didn't you? When did beliefs become so negative? Well, we don't even realize we have these negative beliefs, which are inside of us. It's just a thought that we keep thinking, but it's negative. And what does it do? It holds us back from getting what we want in life. And we don't want that. We want to be free of these negative beliefs. We want to focus on beliefs that support us and help us get to what we want in life, right? But before we do that, we do need to go in and decide, hey, what are those negative beliefs? And our stories are really just wrapped around our beliefs, right? Because inside of our stories hides that little belief that's holding us back. And that's what I help you uncover. That's why I love this work so much. And what does it mean when you're looking for something with your mouth? How do you look with something for your mouth? Well, this is a little statement that I say in my house, because I don't know if your house is anything like mine, but when somebody loses something, they start shouting, where are my favorite jeans, Mom? You know, and I know they're right upstairs in their room behind the closet. I've already washed them, but they threw the pile behind there. I know I can find it in a second, but they think it's gone. They think it's missing. So do they find it? No, they're looking with their mouth. They're not even seeing it with their eyes because they've already decided that it was missing and they cannot find it, okay? So this is what happens when we have a belief about something. It's just a small little analogy of how it stops you. Or if somebody calls and says, hey, where's that spice? I can't find it anywhere. As soon as you tell your brain you can't find it anywhere, it's lost, it's gone, it's missing, you can't even see it when it's right in front of you. This is a psychological phenomenon. This is what happens when you're so focused on it not being there. It's actually blocked from your vision. You cannot see it when that little spice that you're looking for is sitting right in front of you. So that's the phenomenon that we're dealing with here. When we tell ourselves something and we truly believe it, whatever that thought is, it gets in our way because it stops us. We don't even see that it's right there stopping us. So we have to dig into our stories. We have to find out what those beliefs are, because really the cool thing that I love about this work is that a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. That's all a belief is. It's not like some crazy, thing that you've held on to. Well, you might have held on to it for 20 years, but it's not this unchangeable thing that's like, once you have this belief, it's cemented in your mind forever. That's not true. We know that the mind is plastic, the mind is changeable, and so are our thoughts. And that's why I love that. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over and over. And the more you think it, guess what happens? The more energy, the more momentum that belief carries on in your life and captures, and the law of attraction comes into play. And before you know it, you believe that belief. Why? Because you've said it so many times and you put it out into the universe so many times. And you get what you look for, right? So you get what you look for, or you don't get what you think is lost, right? Does that make sense? So be very aware of those little beliefs are that you keep telling yourself. Oh, I can't do that. I'm too old. I don't have enough time. I'm too young. Whatever yours is, it's hidden in there. And something that you always say to yourself, you might say it quietly in the back of your mind. You might not ever speak it out to somebody else. But when you start catching yourself on these little beliefs, these tiny little thoughts that you keep saying, once you start catching them, you know what's super cool? You can decide to change them. That's what I love about it. If a belief is just a thought I keep thinking, I can change my thought. And a belief is just an old thought. I might have had that around for years and years, and who wants to carry that around any longer? Let's get rid of those old thoughts. Let's get rid of those beliefs that are holding us back from doing what we want in our lives, right? If I held on to a belief that said, oh, geez, I can't write a book. I've never done that before. I could never do that. Then I would have never done that. I had to turn all those beliefs around that tried to stop me from writing this book, because I knew in my heart I really wanted to write this book, and I knew that the world needed my message, and that's why I did it. So what's holding you back? What's your story that's holding you back? Take some time before next week and really think about that. And I'd love to hear from you in the comment if you have a little story or a little negative belief that you uncovered that's stopping you from doing something that you really, really, really want to do in your life. I want to hear about it. I want to help you with that. So that's it for What's Your Story. I'm going to leave you with one little tiny move. It's a physical energy medicine move that you can use when you're feeling stressed, right? In these times that we're living in are extra stressful. And we've talked a little bit about your triple warmer, which is a meridian in your body that controls your fight or flight. And so I'm going to show you something really cool. This is your triple warmer hand spot. So if you check between your ring finger and your pinky and you feel this little indentation right here, that's your triple warmer spot. I want you to tap on that. Anytime you're feeling anxious and you can't do that whole triple warmer smoothie that I showed you, you can use this little spot right here. I used to use it before speaking engagements, before going on stage for a show, before an important conversation that you have with a loved one that you're nervous about. Just use this little spot right here. Just tap, 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 gently tap, gently tap, gently tap. And imagine that thought that you were thinking before, that belief that wasn't true. Imagine all the fear just being released right out of you. And you might close your eyes while you do that. So that's my little energy medicine move this week. I'm Carrie Rowan, your host of What's Your Story. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, it's never too late to live your best story. Have an awesome week.